quiet. Alright, this is the basic overview of imperialism and how the U.S. has taken over countries as their own. Yes, taken over countries. You can literally see the man going over the countries. Very fast, very quick, and very snappy. Yes, kids, please enjoy and have a nice ride. Yes.
Even though the label in the cartoon says that it is England, this picture still gets the point across for imperialism in the view of Americans. Imperialism in America was very similar in the aspect of this picture by gaining land quickly and gaining it with force of smaller and weaker countries in order to gain power. Trade opens up when you have more land, therefore it is better for your home country.
Hold on, Batman. This is a map describing how America takes land fast and with force. This is all key trade points for the U.S. and Midway Island as a naval center for the U.S. Alaska, Hawaii are now U.S. states. Midway is our stopping trade point between the U.S. and Japan. The Philippines were beneficial to the U.S. because they acted as a major trade point as well. We received Alaska from Russia to protect ourselves if a war broke out with Britain.
From tip to tip of the wings of the American eagle, this shows the expansion that America has obtained and always will have obtained in 1898, representing America's imperialism.
America. Bankers found huge success in the Caribbean, while they took over foreign debt in the Dominican Republic. In a short time, they controlled the country's customs services. Millions of dollars invested in the sugar industry in the Caribbean. Over the years, up to 40% of all American overseas investments was from the Caribbean. The American perspective of this was that, well, Americans were getting lots of money and lots of resources like bananas, sugar, and other stuff like that. The Caribbean perspective was they kind of described it as American business in the Caribbean, and they felt like they were being kind of taken over and not handled as they should. But though the Americans were trying to civilize the uncivilized, and in some places over the imperialism as a broad spectrum of this whole thing we were talking about, they promote democracy and peace. While the foreign perspective also is that it's obviously an invasion of one's country, and they're just taking their valuable resources that they need for other people, and they get no money.
All right, great. So what we have here is a picture of America, and we can see that it's taking over Cuba. And what happened here was that America, it took over Cuba, and it helped them reach their independence. But what happened was that America didn't really leave Cuba, and we're now settled in what is called Guantanamo Bay. But the basic concept of the picture here is that what we want you guys to understand is that America took over Cuba, helped them gain their independence, but never fully left. So what? Yeah, thanks, great.
This is the train of Mexico and United States back in the day, and you know who owned the land. U.S. thought that the Rio Grande is the dividing line. When the Mexicans tried to push it more north, President Polk of the United States sent a diplomat to Mexico City to settle it out, if you know what I'm saying. When the Mexican government refused to negotiate, the U.S. then fought later on to get lots of land from California and more. As you can see, this is what they fought for and what they gained in that war, if you could say it. So Mexicans lost land and U.S. rules, like always. The war ended when the Americans captured Mexico City. U.S. has won. Again. Well, alright, you obviously can see it, but we think it's a myth. Very straightforward. Us as Americans were the only people that thought it was basically right to do that, though everyone else thought it was bad. So, to us, taking over just for our benefit, well, that has to be a myth. But until next time, my friends.